Good afternoon. Dennis Pierce here from Pickett Street Properties and my associate
Jesse Moore, Pickett Street Properties.
And we're here. We've got kind of a fresh new topic. Jesse, you mentioned something this morning about a little negotiating you did yesterday. You had a what do we call that?
Which one? I had two exciting things.
Actually, you did have a good day yesterday. No, let's talk about the one where you had a buyer walk away and you were able to actually still work with the bank and make some progress on that file.
Right. So what happened was we had a buyer. We had a contract on a short sale, first and a second. Submitted the packet to both lien holders. Mm-hmm. About, not even really 2 weeks into it, the buyer walked away for some reason.
And not an uncommon occurrence.
And we just forge ahead. We keep pushing that file forward in the hopes that we'll get another buyer quickly, and that by the time we get approval, we'll just say, oh, here's a new buyer, same terms. And so that didn't happen, sadly, in this case. What happened was I got approval from the second. The first countered back, but there was no buyer to respond to their counteroffer, and so they had to close the file. But what that allowed me to do is contact the second and say, hey, I have bad news. Bad news is the buyer walked away. Out of curiosity, can we get you guys to go away? Can we, if my seller paid, I know how much they were gonna make, about $4,000 to $5,000 in the short sale process. What would it take for you guys to go away without us having a buyer? What would it take for you to release this lien so that we're only dealing with the first position lien holder? Basically
creating fewer moving parts, so when you do have a buyer in place, it's much easier to move forward with the first.
And in this case, that second lien was owed $50,000, and they are going to settle for $5,000.
Nice.
So we effectively, I got rid of $45,000 worth of debt from my seller.
Which is huge. They're thrilled about that.
They're thrilled about that. Also, I now, instead of having a two-position short sale, I have a one-position short sale, which means that I can more effectively
you can market
get an approval.
Right. Well, it's going to be easier for you to get an approval. It's going to be much easier for you to market the property. Now you can market as a single lien holder, so the buyers are coming in knowing better what they're getting into. Yeah. Wait times are going to be improved, etc.
Yeah. So, and I don't get paid at all, but you know what? It's very fulfilling to tell a client that we were able to get rid of 90% of their
second
balance on a second loan.
Phenomenal.
And improve their position for the next time we get a buyer with this loan. And the other thing you have to think about is, in some cases, if we get rid of a second, it's no longer a short sale.
It can be. Yeah, occasionally you can put them in an equity position.
That first position lien could be low enough, and we could actually create some equity to where we're not waiting for bank approval at all, and we can market it as a regular retail listing.
So something to think about there.
So that's our process and our theory for today, and that's what do we call that? Lien release, payoff,
negotiated payoff.
Negotiated payoff.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that if you are considering a short sale, one thing you may think about doing, think about how many liens that you have, and then think about the subordinate liens. Subordinate liens being anything behind the first primary mortgage.
Right.
And start a dialogue with those people. Generate a relationship with those people and talk to them about, hey, I could go the short sale route, in which case, as a subordinate lien holder, you will get between $3,000 and $10,000 max. More like between $3,000 and $6,000 normally. And so what you could do is you could talk to them and negotiate that you pay them $8,000 to $15,000.
Which will make them very happy.
They'll get more through a payoff with the seller than they would in a short sale. Get them to release the lien and put yourself in a better position for short selling.
Absolutely.
Or not short selling and just selling without bank approval. So
good advice. All right. Thank you very much for visiting Pickett Street.
Yep. Check out the rest of our videos, and if you have any comments or questions about what we talked about, throw them in the comments below.
Thanks.
Thanks.